Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the No BS podcast with me, Saphira, and
Laura. Hi, everyone.
hey everyone. Super
I
excited.
think we need to just be honest with people. This is very possibly going to have to be the second recording because we may or may not have lost the audio for the first one. So we're not as energetic right now.
We're so bummed. No, let's get the energy up.
And the last one, I apologised for my hair because
something was going on. And I'm not a horrible friend. I was looking this way and I didn't see the side angle, and something was definitely going on.
I just feel really terrible for anyone that had to see that weird hair separation moment going on.
But it doesn't matter, you're still beautiful.
Hopefully that won't happen this time. But if you're listening on an audio device, then you wouldn't have noticed that anyway. So
yeah,
that's good. Today what we're talking about, Saphira?
We're talking about mistakes and success in the beauty industry.
The beauty industry?
The beauty industry, babe. It's not necessarily just about the beauty industry. It's about mistakes that we've made in business. And Laura was in business for a lot longer than me. I only did it for like 6 months. Couldn't hack it. It's probably because I made so many mistakes.
Yeah. I think 6 years for me.
Yeah.
So 6 months and 6 years of the beauty industry, two completely different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also want Becca and Chris to do a version of this on the Nail on Sunday podcast because they've got way more experience and they were salon owners.
They also have different opinions to us. So not everything we say is exactly like...
Yeah, they've got boomer opinions.
So your list is longer than mine. So do you want to start?
It is. Okay. So my first mistake that I feel that I made as a self-employed beautician in the beauty industry was, well, specifically I specialised in lashes. That was kind of my thing. But I didn't put enough effort into my brand identity from the start. So what ended up happening was that I decided I didn't really like the route that I had went down and I changed it halfway through. But actually, it's really important that you don't do that and you stick and you remain consistent because you want people to be able to recognise your brand.
Yeah, like instantly, because it confuses your consumer. And I must admit, when you did your whole rebrand, even though I literally personally know you and you told me you were doing that, when you came up on my feed, I didn't recognise you straight away. And that is really important for like, once you finally build that brand identity, people recognise you, your clients know who you are, and then suddenly you change. You're like, what? Who is this imposter?
Your clients are getting confused because there's this new logo on the scene and they don't know how to reach out to you anymore. Like even if you've changed your username or something, like you maybe need to do like emails and things to let people know and put announcements out. Mm-hmm. It's just a big hassle. Just do it right from the start. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I think I made.
Yeah. Do you have any advice about like a brand name?
I would say pick something.
Who is
this? I think that's my dad. Yeah, something. I would say pick something that actually does mean something to you. Now, a lot of times people do this with tattoos and they're like, get a tattoo that means something to you. But I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
I've got lots of tattoos that don't mean shit. Like,
just do whatever.
This means I liked it, okay? But when it comes to your business, something that you're going to be working on 24/7, I actually do think it has to kind of like mean something to you. Like,
I don't know, because like when I chose my name, I decided to go for Tiger Lash, which is just so random. But I liked it, and I liked the vibe, and I wanted to have this like cool girl aesthetic, and it to be like, I don't know, like cat eyes, and it made sense to me, and I liked it. So
okay, but I guess it does kind of mean something to you. Like,
yeah, I suppose you're right.
So yeah, maybe not like sentimental meaning. But that is the route that I went down. So mine was literally like my name. I don't actually want to really put my business there, to be honest. But,
probably not.
Yeah, so it was just like my name. But yeah, I guess if you're going to do like something like Tiger Lash, or a lot of like brands do that, like they'll use like just a specific word that pops out to them. Or
I really liked it, and I thought it was cool. But
yeah, no, I did like it. I mean, you don't have to listen to my advice, I guess.
We have differing opinions.
Do whatever you want.
But yeah, that's important. So that's a really good point to start off with.
Yeah, just having a brand identity that you're proud of and that you really like and you stand by.
What else?
Okay, for me, a big mistake I made was not getting an accountant sooner.
I never needed one because I never was that successful. So.
It's one of those things that's probably maybe more personal to me specifically. I have a learning difficulty called dyscalculia. So if you know what dyslexia is, it's like a learning difficulty with like letters and writing and reading. What's the other one? Dyspraxia. That's more of like
Dyspraxia.
a physical kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like
Did you say dyslexia already? Am I just
yeah, dyslexia, dyspraxia. So then dyscalculia is basically that version with numbers.
Yeah, so it
I
would
am
make
terrible with numbers.
me too.
I'm
I
like,
sometimes wonder if I have it as well because I read numbers back to front or like I mix up my 2s and 7s.
yeah, I'm just so dumb, man.
We're just so dumb. And listen to all of our advice that we're giving you guys.
Yeah, don't listen to me for financial advice, that's for sure. I think the skills that I lack in numeracy, I make up for it in like literacy.
Oh, same.
To
Totally.
be honest. So yeah, getting an accountant if you're bad with numbers is definitely a good idea. You can do trade swaps with accountants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I know that people will swap their services.
No
with accountants,
way.
which is something that I've done for like the second half of my career. But also you can just find somebody that's maybe just starting out or like just a bookkeeper, do you know what I mean, to help you.
Yeah, if it helps you, I recommend it as well. Like if my business was successful enough, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, if you can afford it.
Yeah, otherwise you can end up like getting yourself into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
HMRC.
When they come chapping, they chap hard.
Yeah,
That I would know. Touch
you
wood,
need to be
please don't.
careful.
Okay, but other mistakes, similarly to that, was not getting a booking system sooner as well. So at the start of my career, when I just began, I had a paper diary. And again, because I'm so bad with numbers, that also includes times, dates, everything. And I would frequently like double book people. And it's so embarrassing.
A paper diary sounds like my personal hell.
Yeah.
What is that?
It was. I don't know why I done that to myself.
It's so stressful. And then like, if you need to change something, you're scribbling it all out and no.
Yeah. Because like the thing is, when you're starting out, obviously you're trying to like save costs and things, and a booking system does cost you, but there are ones out there that you can get like relatively cheap nowadays. So I would say even if you're a beginner, as soon as you're finished doing like introductory offers and stuff like that and you're out in the world taking clients, just get a booking system.
I think that in one of our last, I don't know if it was the last episode or the one before that, but we even talked about like the value of a booking system.
Mm-hmm.
It is worthwhile doing.
Yeah, because like people want to book in at their convenience. So if you don't have one, it's a barrier to entry for your business.
Yeah. Good tip.
Another mistake I made was cheaping out on some courses. So I did do a really good lash extensions course.
So did I. I did the one you recommended.
Yeah. Did you do the same one as me? I love those lashes.
No,
You
it
did
was
with
like
somebody
Chloe.
else. Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
did another one.
I thought I just assumed that you did the same one.
Yeah.
Because you recommended her, but you just like.
I did Russian training with her. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
But my classic lash extension course is the best course that I've ever been on, and I will always pretty much now only recommend that one to people.
Okay.
It's like it covers a lot more than what I realise you get in other courses. So now knowing that, I think that that's really, really important, making sure that you're getting like a good fundamental starting space.
Yeah, do
for
your
course.
research. Don't just jump on something because someone's doing like a special price or because they do. And you just want to make sure that if you don't start with a good base, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, like it kind of sets you up for failure if you do a cheap, crappy course. So I ended up really good at lash extensions, and I would probably credit a lot of that to my training. Like I learned from a really, really great educator. Like the woman that loved those lashes, she'd been doing it for like over a decade, I think, at that point, and she worked in that salon day in and day out, was doing the treatment. So she had lots of great advice to give.
She's a pro.
She was a proper pro.
Similarly to that, I made a mistake and I didn't invest in good tools. So I kind of just used like the cheap stuff I got on my training course, and then I'd like buy stuff on AliExpress.
Yeah.
Like,
so don't cheap out on kit or courses.
Yeah, I didn't cheap out on like the actual lashes I was buying.
Yeah. But that's something that you probably could have cheaped out on.
Exactly. Like don't
Thinking
waste don't waste money on cheap tools because you end up actually spending more money in the end because you have to replace them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that you can clean them as well because they have to sit in barbicide and like rot away when they're like when they're not legit.
Barbicide friendly.
Yeah. So Don't make that mistake because it's just going to cost you extra money.
So yeah, that was like the one of the good courses that I went on, but I did cheap out on other courses that were not as good. And it was after I had done the lash extensions training and I decided to do like other treatments and stuff. Like one of them was like a combination brow lamination and lash lift course in which I also learned how to wax, and that's just like too much. But it was a great package deal. So think about that.
Yeah. But you also mentioned that that was one of the good things you did though.
Oh yeah, and in terms of kit, so when I first started, I had just like a bog standard kit, which was fine. But then when you're like developing your own kit, it is better to like research and invest in proper tools. So like I had like navy tweezers, for example, which were like really expensive but like really high quality. They were probably the best on the market at the time. Lash glue was something, again, like there's certain things you can cheap out on, but certain things you shouldn't cheap out on. But I would say like your main things, like in the nail tech world, for example, I would cheap out on a lot of things like disposables, but I would never cheap out on a lamp.
Yeah, not a lamp or not your gels.
Something that's like fundamental to the process.
For sure.
Anywho, I've made a lot of mistakes. There's more. Oh, this is quite a big one. Not preparing my diary for holidays. I found myself needing time off and having to cancel appointments clients made in advance for their holidays because I didn't book out my own holidays in advance.
Stupid.
So let's think about that for a second. I just had my diary out there roaming free, right? Cut your diary off for a certain amount of time. I forgot to consider the fact that I want to go away on holiday, that I want to take time off, I want to do things. And I ended up saying that clients were booking in months in advance because they had their holidays coming up, and I'm thinking, shit.
What I see a lot of people doing now is that they don't have access to the diary for the next month yet.
They block it off. That's so smart.
So just do that. It makes sense. Like I never really understood why before I got into the beauty industry, but it does totally make sense that people can't book in yet because you don't know what's going to go on. Something might happen in your personal life and you won't even be available. It's not a very good look for you to turn around and be like, sorry, everyone, everything's cancelled now.
Yeah.
I know a girl, I really shouldn't be shady, but I know a girl that literally posts every day. I swear she's like, sorry guys, gonna have to cancel, like too much going on in my personal life and blah, blah. Like it's just not a good look. If you need some time off, just give yourself that time off.
I know.
Just do it. Like,
I know. Some people are very personal like that on their business pages, which fair enough if you want to do that, but I agree, like it's not good for business.
It's not good for business and people will end up just thinking, I can't rely on them and they probably won't book in again.
Yeah. Another mistake, boosting random posts on Instagram.
Mistake.
And another one. Boosting random posts on Instagram 20 quid at a time. So like, I would post something and then expect to get like loads of likes and followers.
What were you picking?
Like a picture of eyelashes.
Nice.
And then
I would just scroll right past.
I know. And then I would be like, sorry, I'll just put 20 quid in it. Like on the meta ads, and then hope that will like make the post do better.
Oh God.
Stupid women.
What would you recommend then to someone who wants to do ads on Instagram?
I think it only kind of works if you've got a really well established portfolio that if people then click onto it to your page, they're going to want to stay there and interact, engage, and follow. Mm-hmm. If you're like me and you're just posting like shite pictures of eyelashes, like no one cares, so you're literally burning your money. So yeah, I mean, I can like critique myself. I can say that picture was not worth £20.
Oh, that's so mean.
I know, but it's true. The truth hurts.
Yeah. Oh, here's a mistake I made. I kept making really risky decisions, like making exceptions for people to not get patch tested. How stupid is that? It's really bad. And this would apply for anyone doing anything in beauty, like anything. I think they're essential.
Yeah.
I mean, we see how nail allergies affect people. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like, would you do like patch tests for nails?
Well, that's the thing. So allergy epidemic is so rife in the nail industry, but patch tests aren't like the norm.
Yeah, actually, I just realised
it is more so for beauty treatments because it's actually going in your skin, whereas like nail stuff isn't meant for your skin. So like nail stuff is skin sensitizers, but the problem is it doesn't go in your skin, so you shouldn't really need to patch test for it.
In that way, I'd probably say it's kind of similar to like doing nails on someone and then they have some sort of reaction and you keep applying nails to them.
Yeah. That would
So
be irresponsible.
you need
But
to.
I get what you mean though about the patch testing, because you're trying to make money. Someone's came in, they haven't booked in for the patch test, and you're having to then turn away that client, which means
Yeah.
turning away income. So I get why.
Or
people
it's
end up
like your
doing
friend and you're like, whatever.
that.
But your friend can still sue you.
I
So
know. That's very true.
don't make silly mistakes like that because you're gonna end up shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. Don't make risky decisions.
And also get business insurance. I know too many people that are like practicing without business insurance. Like you need to have business insurance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's like one of the first things that you do
Yeah.
when you start trading, because there's people out there that they don't seem it at first, but they're Karens and they want to get you and they'll complain about anything. So be careful.
We only have time for a couple more, but I'll maybe talk about sticking to your policies because I was really bad at not doing that. And I think the problem was I really wanted to get clients in and have them keep coming back to me. So I tolerated a lot of crap. And I'll like use an example of like my friend came in once and she came in for an infill and she had like hardly any lashes left as it was, but she came in covered in mascara. Lashes look really bad, like just covered in I don't know what was in them, honestly. And I sat for like
Dirt.
dirty. And I sat for an hour like cleaning them out, honestly, because I had to like pick apart the glue. Keep in mind I just started as well. I'm not an expert. I don't have like all the tools that probably would have helped me out there as well.
You need to be brutal with them.
It was such a waste of time. And then all of that for me to do an infill and charge an infill price. Like, what was I thinking? That's ridiculous.
No,
So,
I'd have been charging them.
were you quite strict with your policies?
Mhm. But I was lenient where I could afford to be. So, like, if it was a really loyal client and there was like a one-off kind of fuck up mistake, like I mentioned this in a previous podcast about giving a wee bit of grace, you know what I mean? Then I would accommodate that person if it was like a really, really loyal client. They never really did that, or like turned up late or accidentally like couldn't make their appointment for whatever reason. I would grant a wee bit of grace on at the times I could afford to.
Yeah, but if someone came to you like with their lashes caked in crap, would
Then
you?
if I had the time, I would probably offer a cleansing appointment. I would do a deep clean appointment for an add-on or like an extra tenner.
Yeah, you add it on and tell them they have to pay it.
But if not, I would say I can either there's unfortunately a lot of makeup and residue on your lashes. I can spend your appointment time cleaning them, and then you can come back to me for another appointment. But then I would explain to them, but you'll still have to pay for the full service.
You
That's
do need
it.
to be strict.
Yeah.
As long as you handle it professionally and you're just explaining to them very clearly why you're doing or making the
And as
decision.
long as you've set out your policies to say that you must come with clean eyes, because if you've not said that,
Yeah.
then
Same
how
with-
are they supposed to know?
Same with nails. Don't come with like someone else's work on.
Yeah.
Don't come with like a set on and expect like to use that time to do a new set because you're gonna need to get your nails taken off.
Yeah. Don't mess people about. So yeah, that kind of comes under like establishing prices and stuff like that early on as well. So your policies, establish them, establish your prices. So if you're going to do an introductory price, if you're just starting, make sure that your actual price is established and make it clear that you're doing a limited time offer for an intro price.
Absolutely. I was too scared to put up that wasn't going to be my prices for a long time because I just wanted to get in as many people as I can. But actually what you're doing is you're setting a precedent for what people expect to pay, and then they're going to be annoyed when you put the prices up. But you're also not realizing that people are going to be like, wow, what a bargain. I'm going to book in and like before the prices are. And then if you're good and you put the work in, they're going to come back and pay those prices anyway.
I've also put here loyalty cards. We talked about that in the first
I'm
episode.
still like, so.
Me personally, I regret that. I wish I never did them.
I think what we ended up saying was like, if you're going to do it, don't offer too much of your time. Don't offer like a full free service because it's gonna cost you greatly.
And don't do it if you don't need to do it.
Yeah,
if you've already got loyal clients.
Don't be doing that.
Not buying bulk things that I run out of frequently is a huge mistake.
Yeah, as well, I often see customers like not taking advantage of special deals that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should definitely be stocking up on the things that you use the most, like top coat.
Yeah. For me, it was lash glue. Like, I soon learned that I had to buy 4 bottles of lash glue at once, and I would try and get them when they were on like a 20% off sale or something like that.
You don't want to be in a position where you have to turn away clients because you don't have the things that you need to do the service. Like, really bad.
Yeah, bad business practice. I did that a lot. Not charging friends and family. Why did I do that? Every time they would come in, I'd be like, no, it's fine, honestly.
Guilty.
That's so stupid. It's like, no, offer like a friends and family discount.
Yeah, I think I would have been more comfortable too, because sometimes it got to the point where you were like, no, don't be stupid. And I'd be like throwing money for the door or like doing whatever. Like, now I just like the other week you did my lash lift for me. And I was like, I'll just buy your dinner.
Yeah, now I don't mind because I'm not doing it as a job.
I know, but
like,
oh my God,
when I did it as a
I
job.
did not pick up my stomach rumble there. It was so loud. I have a sandwich waiting for me in the fridge.
I've not eaten anything. But yeah, when I did it as a job, I look back and I think, no, I should have been charging for those appointments because I was being charged to be there. Like,
yeah,
rent, so
you have to like make a living. And this is what I would say: if your friends are genuine friends, they will want to support you. They'll want your business to do well. So if your friend comes in expecting a free appointment, not really a good friend.
My last mistake that I've put on here is that I wasted so much time being a lazy bitch. Because I worked in the city centre and I could never be bothered getting the train in. I have a real like hatred towards public transport. So I would drive in, pay for parking, or I would get a taxi in now.
Oh, I need a stupid button here. Stupid.
Yeah. Like the whap, 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 whap. That's really dumb. Don't waste your money. Like, that's so dumb.
Yeah, you're like essentially, what's the point in going in?
Yeah, I know. Just going in to pay my parking fee, earn that for the day.
I think my final piece of advice would be, I get too emotional and it really hinders you. Like when you're in business, you can't be an emotional person. And even if you get really upset with a client, like you can't start a fight with them or anything like that. It looks very unprofessional. And in this day and age, someone can go to social media and be like, look what this person has said to me. Look what they've done. And then that's it. Your business is ruined because at the end of the day, the business is you. So you can't change that you've done something bad like that. So don't be emotional. Don't react. Like if you're upset about it, like go away from it and come back and deal with it. But remain professional.
Yeah. I just wanted to finish up with some things that I actually did okay. I mean, we could probably do like a whole other podcast episode, but I think it's important to build good relationships with your clients. That's something that I managed to do. Building good relationships with your neighbours and like other businesses around you.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Because if you're good to your neighbours, they'll be good to you and they'll keep an eye out for you as well.
Yeah, I used to like Makeup by Rachel used to work literally across the road from us, and there would be a moment where like I'd run out of like cotton pads or something, you know, like the silly things you don't think about. I would run over at her and she would give me some, and vice versa. She'd run in and be like, "If you got like any step 2, I've just run out," and like we would share
cute.
stuff.
That's the same. That's the same for the chippy.
Yeah,
I used to run over like him and get cheese from the guy across the road. We did the same for him though, so it is good to be good to your neighbours.
cheese, please.
Like, oh, not you again.
But one thing that I feel like I did, probably the best thing in my career, was social media advertising. I built an entire client base from scratch in a very deprived area in Glasgow, in a little box room, like the very first salon that I worked in. I built a whole clientele from scratch on social media, on Instagram specifically.
In your room.
Yeah, just chilling, you know, just posting me pictures. I was doing sets for free, just building up that portfolio, and that's one of the best things that I think I'd done in my business was social media. And then that's how I ended up getting the job at Nail Order, because I actually preferred that to being a lash tech.
Something to be really proud of.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back. Good job.
So despite all the mistakes, you do some good things.
Yeah, and keep at it and believe in yourself because you need to.
Yeah. And despite all those mistakes, I still managed to have quite a successful business. Like, I was fully booked, you know?
Booked and busy.
So I hope people can learn from that. And yeah, comment below what your biggest mistakes were in business, and other people can learn from you as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see what everyone else did wrong. Make me feel a bit better about all my mistakes, and you can probably teach someone something in the comments. My stomach is rumbling so much, trying to take attention away from myself. It's like bloom.
We're going to actually get barred from this podcast.
I'm sorry, Chris. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode where we talked about our mistakes and our successes in business, and we're loving doing the podcast. So I'm glad you guys are watching it and enjoying it. So yeah, make sure you leave a comment down below about your mistakes, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.